Hey everyone, I'm Haley and today I'm going to be doing a full face first impression of e.l.f. Cosmetics. I bought a full face, but it's like bare minimum for about $50 at Ulta. And I got these a while ago, so I'm really excited to open them. So let's get into it. So to start out, I got the Tone Adjusting Face Primer in Brightening Lavender. It claims that it is a multi-purpose primer, preps your skin and fills the fine lines so makeup goes on evenly for a long-lasting matte finish. And I got this one because at the time I was having really bad breakouts and it said it would cover the redness and I just like a matte finish. So let's see. So I'm applying this primer with a damp beauty blender. It's pretty much how I apply all the makeup on my face because I love my beauty blenders. But it's actually a really dark purple going on, but it blends really well and it's really soft. Okay, so now I have it all over my face. I did 2 pumps on here, but it only took 1 pump to really get it all over my face. And I don't really coat it on heavily because it's just a primer. But so far, I like that, but we'll see how it is. So now I'm opening my foundation serum. It's with Goji Berry and it has 25 SPF. So this is actually the $8 foundation. They have a $6 one that is close to the size, but at Ulta they only have 4 shades in it and they're all a darker skin tone, and clearly that's not going to work for me. So I'm excited to try this out. I love foundation with sunscreen in it because I have such fair skin. It is the same exact bottle as the primer. It is about 0.47 fluid ounces. So as I'm pumping it out, it's actually pretty like liquidy on this palette. So let's see how it goes on. So it's actually going on pretty smoothly and spreading easily. The only thing is, I wouldn't call this a full coverage foundation. I don't know if it claims that at all. It's just pretty sheer. But it does spread pretty easy. So I'm just trying to put it on a little quick. So I got Fairlight. And it actually matches my skin pretty well, and even though it doesn't look very full coverage, it claims it creates a fresh natural glow, and it's lightweight, which it is lightweight, I agree with that, and it helps gently mask imperfections while promoting radiant, healthy looking skin with vitamins A, C, and E. Actually, so it doesn't say it's full coverage, so I'd actually say it's a pretty good foundation because it is gently masking my imperfections, and it actually went on really well. I actually really like this foundation, so that's a good purchase for $8. So next I will be doing the HD Lifting Concealer in Fair. This high definition concealer helps hide imperfections and minimize fine lines, infused with vitamin C, green tea, and it helps firm and soothe skin to provide an even tone texture and look. So this is 0.22 fluid ounces. The packaging made it look like it was about to be huge, but this is the size of it in comparison to my hand. So I'm just going to apply it under my eye. Oh jeez, this is actually pretty dark. It's darker than the foundation. As you can see, I've applied it to the tip of my nose, right here, because I get a little acne there, under my eyes, and right there on my forehead. So I'm just going to blend it in really quick. So now that I have that all blended in, and I chose a medium-sized beauty blender, I just think it's easier for concealer and stuff like that, while I use a very large one for the foundation. Now that I have on my primer, my foundation, and my concealer, I'm going to go in with my HD powder that I got. And it says high definition loose powder creates soft focus effect on the skin and it helps mask fine lines, which I think almost every product says that. and this one was actually easy to take out of the package. It comes with this little dabber, but I typically do not use that. And in the lid, it says pour powder in here. And then you peel the sticker off and turn the dial. Alright, so I'm pouring my powder into the lid. I'm going to go in with my damp beauty blender and apply it. So actually, it didn't really show up on my skin that well, and typically for HD powders, they typically show up a little more than this. I don't know if it's because it's so fair, but I did apply a pretty thick coat, and I know I feel it on there. It just isn't really showing up, so it probably isn't showing up on camera. But I'm also going to put it all over my face just so that when I put on my contour, it blends out easier. Okay, so after that, I'm going to go in with my contour palette. I typically use cream palettes, but I saw this palette and it is in light medium. Okay, so here's the palette. There's this highlighter in it, and then the shades get darker as you go down. And I'm going to go in with, since it's a light to medium, I'm going to go in with a lighter shade because the darker color is going to look pretty dark on my skin. I got my contour brush. And I'm going to go in with this shade. So after I put it on, I had to blend it out a little bit more because this side was grabbing the foundation and not blending really well, so it came out a little more gray. This side came out more even and it actually blended really smoothly. So I would say that the color I used, which is, this one is actually good for fair skin if you aren't heavy with the brush. So I'm not doing blush in this video because I don't really wear blush because my skin has like a pink undertone to it. So I don't like to, I guess I would say, enhance it a little bit more or like put a pink tone even more to my skin. So I'm actually skipping over blush, but they did have a good amount of blush options at Ulta. But moving on, I'm going to, it's been a couple minutes, so I'm going to blend out the HD powder that was under my eyes. And now I'm going to get into eyebrows. So typically I use a dip brow, so this is actually going to be new to me. It is a gel and powder eyebrow kit in the shade Light, but it actually looks like it has a pretty dark brown on it, so we are going to see how it goes. It says it creates fuller, thicker, and more defined looking brows. So I'm going to go in with my angled brush. So when you open it up, this is how it looks. It has a mirror in it and it comes with a small angled brush. But I'm going to use my own angled brush just so it's easier to apply for me. So the gel actually looks like it's going to be a little too dark for me, so I'm just going to use the powder in here. And I don't really do anything fancy for my eyebrows. I just pretty much fill them in because my eyebrows are so thin already and I like them thin. So now that I'm done, I did use the powder because it was the lighter color and I thought it matched better. I'm used to using a dip brow and that's always gel. So this was a little tricky for me. It didn't go on as smoothly as I wanted to. So now that my eyebrows are done, I'm going to move on to our metallic liquid eyeshadow in Brushed Copper. It's actually a decent sized tube. It is 0.09 ounces and it says it gives a vibrant metallic look and an irresistible cooling effect. The formula is infused with purified water and vitamin E to help hydrate. It says apply the color directly to the eyelid using the applicator. I typically don't use the applicator just because I think it's easier to use another brush, but for the sake of this video, I am going to use the applicator so I can give a full review on the item. So here we go. So after it just dabbing it in here once and applying it, it covered the full lid. I am going to blend it out a little bit, but it's not as shimmery as I hope, but the color still appears pretty well on my lid. I'm gonna apply the rest and blend it out. Alright, so here is it finished and fully blended out. Overall, it took 2 dips in it to get it to cover each eyelid. The only thing I really have to say about it is it wasn't that easy to blend out, and typically eyeshadows in tubes like this are really smooth and creamy, so they're easy to blend out, and also it has a slight burn to it on my eyelid. Don't know what that's about. Oh, maybe that's the irresistible cooling effect, and it just feels like a little bit of a burn, but I'm not sure. I also have very sensitive skin, so that may be why that feels like that. So now, eyeliner. Eyeliner is easily one of my favorite things because I like to be extra and do wing and everything. And this is the Expert Liquid Eyeliner in Jet Black. It's 0.15 fluid ounces. It's smudge proof and a long lasting formula. Fine tip brush creates smooth the fine lines. It's actually a decent sized bottle, and I'm going to go ahead and apply it from the inner corner of my eyelid and give myself a little wing. So I've only dipped it in once, and it covered this entire eye and then this start of the wing. So actually a little bit goes a long way. This is what it looks like when I'm done. The only thing I really have to say about it is a little product does go a long way, which I like that a lot about this, but it said a fine tip, and this is one fat wing. And I couldn't make it smaller without doing it all the way across my face. So that's really all I have to say, is that the tip of it isn't that thin. But overall, I actually really like this because this is actually going to last me a good bit. Next, I have the Length and Volume Mascara in black. And it's to achieve full, long-looking lashes. The brush head provides edge-to-edge control and even coating for lovely volume and length. Typically like to do fake lashes because I like full and voluminous looking lashes, and I just can't get that with just doing mascara on my lashes. So let's see how this goes. This is actually the wand. It's pretty small. So it's a little hard to tell that it's on. I applied a couple coats, but I do have smaller lashes, so it's harder to see. I actually really do like how small the wand is on here because it's easier to get around to all of my lashes. I would use this again, and I actually think it's a really good product. It actually kept my eyelashes separated really easily and coated them very well. So I do actually recommend this mascara. It works really well and it was really cheap. So I went back and applied it on my bottom lashes because I actually forgot to do that step. And now one of my favorite parts is matte lipstick. I love liquid lipstick and especially matte. Like, I love everything matte. For some reason, I'm not that fond of a glossy look, especially on me. I like it on other people, but just I think a matte look is more for me. This is in the shade Tea Rose. This is the size of the tube. It's actually a pretty decent size. In the packaging, it did look like it was going to be a little more rose, and actually the name of it was Tea Rose. Yeah, it was Tea Rose. So I was expecting more of a pinkish, rosy-ish color. It actually came out more mauve, and I actually do like the color. It's just not what I expected. And pairing it with the copper eyeshadow, I would typically do more of a darker nude color. But it actually looks pretty good. I like the color. Now I'm actually going to go back to the powder contour palette because there is a highlighter in it. And I don't really like using fan brushes. I just don't feel like they get enough of the product on there. So I'm going to go in with a chunkier brush. So this is actually the brush I'm going to be using. It's just a smaller rounded tip brush. I'm going to go in and get the first color in the palette because that is the highlighter color. And just take it from up here and brush it down a little bit. You don't want to go all the way down your cheek. And then I do the tip of my nose, and then I do it up here just to define the eyebrow a little bit more. When I do the highlighter on my brow bone, I like to go in with a smaller rounded tip brush. Now I am more fond of a shimmery highlighter. This one was more powdery and matte than shimmery. I do like it and it went on very smoothly. I like a more blinding highlight. It is the Matte Magic Mist and Set, and like I said, I love a matte look, as you can tell by lipstick and the foundation. And it says it claims this fine clear setting spray helps makeup stay put and helps control shine for beautiful looking skin. My skin is dry in some areas and a little bit oily in others. And I just rather the oily part of my skin not come through. So that's why I like more of a matte spray. There are other options that I saw, but we just gonna roll with this one. It is 2.02 fluid ounces. Oh, this is the finished look of my $50 full face. Overall, for the price of everything, I think it came out pretty good. I think next time I just get eyelashes. So I think I'd look into getting other metallic eyeshadows, like maybe a darker one, because this looked darker in the tube. It just came out a little more light, but overall I really do like this look, and I really liked how smooth the liquid lipstick went on, and it didn't dry out my lips at all, or at least it hasn't so far, so I really like that. So overall, I really actually like this full face. It is a cheaper full face to do if you're balling on a budget like me. So I would recommend a lot of these items to you. They do have a lot of other primers actually. I didn't know I had this, but when I went back and looked, I found it. It's the Poreless Face Primer. They have a lot of other color primers just for whatever your skin really needs. So thank you for watching, and like the video and subscribe.